What's up, Commanders fans? Welcome back to Commanders HQ. Before we dive in, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get this video out to more Washington fans across the country. This team is fighting every single week to get better, learning, adapting, and pushing for consistency, and with each passing game, you can feel it. Dan Quinn's Commanders are building something real in DC. But right now, the team's depth and resilience are about to be tested in a major way. Because as we head into Monday Night Football, the Washington Commanders could be entering a full-blown crisis mode at wide receiver. It's been one of those weeks at Commanders Park, the kind that makes every fan hold their breath. Washington is already heading into their primetime matchup against the Chicago Bears without Terry McLaurin and Noah Brown. And now there's real concern that Deebo Samuel Sr., the team's most productive receiver so far, could also miss the game due to a heel injury. According to NFL insider Tom Pelissero, Samuel popped up on the injury report late this week and is officially questionable for Monday night. That heel bruise has been lingering for weeks, and even though Deebo has played through pain before, this one feels serious enough to make the team think twice. Head coach Dan Quinn confirmed it will be a true game-time decision. The extra rest from playing on Monday could help, but as of now, it's 50-50. And let's be honest, Commanders fans, if Deebo can't go, that's a massive blow. When Adam Peters traded a fifth-round pick to the San Francisco 49ers for Deebo Samuel earlier this year, it looked like a masterstroke, and it has been. Samuel's presence has transformed Washington's offense, giving Jaden Daniels that versatile, reliable weapon who can turn short passes into highlight reel plays. Through 5 weeks, Samuel leads the Commanders with 30 receptions for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's been Daniels' safety blanket, his big play spark, his emotional leader. But here's the issue. Behind him, the depth chart is paper thin right now. With McLaurin and Brown already out, Luke McCaffrey, the rookie sensation, becomes the de facto wide receiver one. The former Rice star has been impressive, no doubt, but relying on a second-year player to carry the passing game on Monday night, that's a tall order. Then there's Jalen Lane, the rookie fourth-rounder, and Chris Moore, who's been inconsistent at best. After that, it's a mix of untested names, Corey Brooks, Robbie Chosen, and Tay Martin, any of whom could be elevated from the practice squad just to fill the roster. And don't forget, the offense is already missing running back Austin Eckler for the season, so if Deebo can't suit up, this game plan might lean heavily on the ground attack and tight ends like Zach Ertz to move the chains. This is where head coach Dan Quinn earns his paycheck. Quinn has always preached toughness and adaptability. Next man up is more than a cliche in his locker room, but he also knows that pushing a player too soon can do long-term damage. With Deebo's heel bruised and tender, the coaching staff has been limiting his practice reps all week. And even if he can play, the question is, should he? Heel injuries can linger, and when you're Deebo Samuel, a guy whose game depends on explosion, cuts, and after-contact power, that's a real concern. Playing through it could risk aggravation, or worse, a chronic issue that lingers deep into the season. Still, knowing Deebo's mentality, if there's any way he can be on the field, he'll be there. This guy's built different. He's as tough as they come. You'd have to chain him to the bench to keep him from playing under the lights of Monday Night Football. The silver lining in all this? Jaden Daniels. The rookie quarterback has already proven that he can handle chaos. Injuries, pressure, hostile crowds, it doesn't matter. Daniels plays his best when things get messy. His composure and creativity have been nothing short of spectacular, and while he's missing weapons, Daniels' dual-threat ability gives Washington a fighting chance in every game. He can extend plays, punish defenses with his legs, and find open receivers when the pocket collapses. It's exactly that unpredictable style that makes him such a nightmare for opposing defenses, and exactly why the Bears are worried. Chicago head coach Ben Johnson called Daniels a fear factor player earlier this week, saying it'll take all 11 defenders staying disciplined to contain him. So yes, losing Deebo Samuel would hurt, but as long as Daniels is on the field, the Commanders have a chance. Now, let's pivot to something a bit more encouraging. Terry McLaurin's recovery. While McLaurin will miss Monday night, there's growing optimism that he could return as soon as Week 7 against the Dallas Cowboys. NFL Network's Tom Pelissero reported that Washington deliberately chose not to place McLaurin on injured reserve, holding out hope that he'd be back within the 4-week window, and that hope is starting to pay off. McLaurin's been dealing with a tricky quad and hip issue that's limited him for nearly a month. But he stayed engaged, mentoring younger receivers, supporting Daniels, and doing everything possible to speed up recovery. If he can practice, even in a limited capacity, by midweek, it'll be a huge sign that his return is imminent. And let's be honest, Washington needs him badly. This offense is just not the same without number 17's leadership and route running. Even when he's not catching passes, McLaurin changes how defenses play. His presence stretches the field, opens lanes for others, and sets the tone with his work ethic. If he's back against Dallas, and if right guard Sam Cosmi also returns, Washington's offense could be at full strength for one of the biggest divisional matchups of the season. For now, though, all eyes are on Monday Night Football. The Commanders sit at 3-5, fighting to keep momentum alive in a wide-open NFC race. But this game isn't just about standings, it's about resilience, about proving that this team can weather adversity, that the culture Dan Quinn and Adam Peters are building is built to last. We've seen flashes of greatness. The defense has stepped up, the rookie QB looks special, and young talents like McCaffrey and Newton are proving they belong. Now it's about holding the line, even if key stars like Samuel and McLaurin can't suit up. If the Commanders can pull off another win under the lights, it'll send a message to the entire league. This isn't the old Washington. This team doesn't fold when things get tough. They adapt, they fight, they find ways to win. Washington Commanders versus the Chicago Bears, a national stage, and the Commanders are walking into it without some of their biggest offensive weapons. Terry McLaurin, still sidelined. Noah Brown, out again. And to make things even tougher, Deebo Samuel Sr. is questionable with a painful heel bruise. It's a brutal stretch for a receiving core that just weeks ago looked like one of the deepest in the NFC. But here's where Cliff Kingsbury has quietly impressed everyone. He's adjusted. He's reshaped this offense around the ground game, and the results have been electric. The Commanders currently lead the NFL in rushing yards per game at 156.4. That's not just good, that's dominant. And a huge part of that success? The unexpected emergence of rookie Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. Now, let's talk about Krosky-Merritt, a 7th-round pick. No one expected him to be more than a developmental piece when he arrived in Washington, but since training camp, he's turned heads, not with talk, but with sheer, undeniable production. When he exploded for that breakout performance against the Los Angeles Chargers, it wasn't just a good game, it was a statement. Fans across the league started asking, who is this kid? He runs angry, he runs smart, and he runs fearless. Krosky-Merritt doesn't dance behind the line. He hits holes with conviction, makes decisive cuts, and finishes every run like he's trying to send a message. That style has made him a perfect fit in Dan Quinn's new look, physical identity for this Commanders team. And heading into Week 6, with Chicago allowing 164.5 rushing yards per game, the second worst mark in the entire league, Krosky-Merritt could be primed for another breakout under the bright lights of Monday Night Football. But here's the twist. Cliff Kingsbury isn't getting caught up in the hype. In fact, he's doing something even more valuable. He's challenging Krosky-Merritt to become more. Speaking to reporters this week, Kingsbury praised the rookie's playmaking ability, saying, he has to keep working to become a complete back, but since day one, when he touches the ball, he does good things with it. That's high praise, but also a warning. Because in the NFL, talent gets you on the field, but versatility? That's what keeps you there. Kingsbury's challenge is clear. If Krosky-Merritt wants to be more than just a rotational spark plug, he has to master pass protection. It's the one area of his game that's still a work in progress, and Kingsbury, being the offensive mind that he is, knows exactly how important that is, especially when your quarterback is a young superstar like Jayden Daniels, who needs time to read, process, and strike. So for now, Kingsbury's strategy is a balancing act. Maximize what Krosky-Merritt does best, while limiting situations where his blocking could expose the offense. It's smart coaching, and it's giving this rookie time to grow into his full potential. But here's what really separates Krosky-Merritt from so many other late-round backs. His mindset. This kid doesn't just want to make the roster. He wants to make history. He's a grinder. He studies film obsessively. He's been one of the first players on the field during practice weeks, even when his touches were limited early in the season. Teammates talk about his quiet fire. Coaches talk about how fast he learns. And Kingsbury, he sees something special brewing. Krosky-Merritt's quick adaptation to the NFL speed, his ability to read blocks, adjust on the fly, and keep defenses guessing, has earned him trust inside the locker room.
That's not something rookies get handed easily. Even Chris Rodriguez Jr., who's dealing with a calf injury, has spoken about Krosky Merritt's impact on the team's energy, calling him a spark plug and a brother who brings juice every day. It's rare for a 7th-round pick to have that kind of presence so early, but that's exactly the kind of story that's building inside the Commanders facility right now. So, here we are, Monday night, Bears versus Commanders, primetime, and Washington may have to run their entire offense through the rookie. If Deebo Samuel can't suit up, all eyes will be on the ground game, and that means the spotlight shines brightest on Krosky Merritt. This is the kind of moment that can define a young player's future. Perform well here, and the league takes notice. The Commanders could discover not just a depth piece, but a foundational player for their offensive future. The beauty of this story is how organic it feels. Nothing about Krosky Merritt's rise has been forced. He's earned every carry, every yard, and every ounce of trust from the coaching staff. And if he can rise to Kingsbury's challenge, improving his blocking, staying patient, and continuing to deliver when his number is called, then Washington might have found their next great running back in the most unexpected way possible. This is also a reflection of the bigger picture for the Commanders. Dan Quinn, Adam Peters, and Kingsbury have built a locker room that's hungry, selfless, and built on accountability. Every week, new heroes step up. Every setback becomes an opportunity. And while fans might be frustrated seeing stars like McLaurin, Brown, and Samuel battling injuries, it's clear that this team is finding answers. They're adapting, they're evolving, and that's exactly what championship-caliber organizations do. So, Commanders fans, let's talk. If Deebo Samuel can't go on Monday night, do you trust Jaden Daniels and Luke McCaffrey to carry the offense? Should Washington risk playing Deebo through pain or give him the rest he needs and play it safe? And how confident are you that Terry McLaurin will be ready to return next week against Dallas? Drop your thoughts down in the comments. I read every single one. And before you go, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Commanders HQ, and turn on notifications so you never miss a breaking update. This channel is built for you, the loyal fans who ride through every high and low with this team. No matter how tough it gets, remember this: the fight in DC is real. And under Dan Quinn, these Commanders aren't backing down from anyone. Let's go, Commanders fans. It's time to stand tall and keep the faith.